All right, so we're going to, that's the pattern I'm going to make, okay? I already got my candy in a bag, and I already got my string out, and I got my scissors right here, okay? So I'm going to attempt to do this. Hopefully my camera won't mess up while I'm doing it, okay? If it does start to move, I'm sorry. Like, this thing, it does not like me. I'm going to have to get me another pod or whatever. My friend has this thing, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like my stuff, but it is the same thing. But it's just like this stand that you put your phone in, and it just sits, and it has like a flat surface. So it just it stays better. Like, you don't, it's not janky like this freaking piece of crap is. Anywho, so I'm trying, I don't want to cuss or anything like that. But, you know, like I said before, I make all of my videos not kid friendly, for the simple fact I never know if I do happen to drop an F-bomb, or, you know, a lot of the things that I talk about on camera is definitely not kid friendly. It's not appropriate. Sorry, my angle keeps, I told you, I don't know. It's just gonna do that. So, alright, as long as it's halfway right. That's all I care about. Really? Alright. And I might have to make this go bigger. Oh. Alright. I gotta be able to see it. Okay. So this is my pattern. Can you see it? It's still a little... whatever. It is what it is. Okay. So... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. Okay, so this pattern is for 34, but I'm going to cut 2 of them off and make it for 32, because this right here, this cuff right here, I made to be 34 for my friend, okay? And her arms are way bigger than mine, but look how much space there is. You see that? See how much space there is? I don't want this cuff to be like that. So I'm going to make it to be 32. So I'm going to cut 2 beads off the end. Alright. It will still be okay. That just means I'll have... Okay, so if you want to get this pattern, you have to go to candypatterns.com to get it. Okay? But this is what you need for this one. It says red, 383 beads, 66 black beads. Okay. It goes up to number 25. It is 34 wide by 13. And what it means, I don't know if that actually means 13 inches or what. It might mean 13 inches tall. I'm not really sure. I haven't figured that part out. I've been making these daggum cups for forever now, but I just don't know. Alright, so let's get it started. And like I said before, you want to start with a bunch of string. That way you don't have to worry about adding more string to the end, you know. It's just better to go ahead and start with a lot of string to begin with than not having enough and having to tie it on. Because you don't want to have to tie on string early on to your cups, okay? And like I said before, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not. But if you get in the chat and you're trying to chat with me, you can't, because I'm not gonna sit here and be stopping, but I will say hello. So hello. So Armani, appreciate the love. Come make some candy with me. Nice. Yeah, it's fun. I started making candy. I started making candy cups. I've always made candy. I've always been a raver, but I started making candy cuffs when I wanted to stop smoking cigarettes, because I needed something to do with my hands. And I knew that if I made candy cuffs, it's very time consuming, and then I wouldn't be tempted to come out and smoke cigarettes. So it helped me a lot. Alright, did I say it? Did I say it right? Armani? Did I say it right? I hope so. 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. And hello, Manjulia or Manjula. Sorry if I butcher your names. Please don't take offense, okay? Because I can barely see with my glasses, and I cannot pronounce names for hardly anything. It's pretty bad. I mean, especially the names in the Bible. Oh my gosh, I'd be butchering the crap out of half of those names. Okay, so like I said before, this pattern is for 34 wide, okay? Which means you're going to make, if you do it according to the pattern, then you would use 34 beads. But I am going to do it for 32 beads because my wrists are super small. And when I put on the cuff that I made right here, it's super big. I'll show you again. This is a 34 cuff, okay? And look how big it is. You see that gap? Yeah, I don't want a gap like that. So, what do you mean a picture on the thing? What are you talking about? Picture where? Well, this is a pattern. This is the cuff I'm about to make. I'm about to make this Kandicuff. So, it will be like, oh crap, did I just lose a bead? I did. I'll just grab another one. See, this is what a finished Kandicuff looks like, okay? But the pattern looks like this, you know what I'm saying? It's flat. But when you get done, it will be together like that. And this one right here took me about an hour and a half to make. Okay, call you son. You got it, girl. Or boy. I don't know if you're a boy or girl. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sorry. I like the name Son. That's pretty. Yeah, actually, there is a house that I'm supposed to get soon, and her name is New. Man, I keep dropping them. Dang nabbit. Her name is New, and she has a son. She has an actual child, and his name is Sun. I was like, oh wow. So yeah, I forgot where she said they were from. They're not from here. All right, so I can't remember which country she said they were from. 6, 8, 10, 12. And like I've said before, doing these candies, so when you're making these candies, you need to be making sure, you need to be paying attention to the actual cuff itself and your paper, because it is so easy to mess up these daggum cuffs. I do it every single time I make them. I like skip a line, or I think, oh, I got this, and I put the wrong bead in the wrong spot, or I've actually when I've gone back through to loop it through the beads, I'll loop like the string through 2 beads instead of 1. I've done that a couple times, you know, so you gotta constantly be paying attention. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. All right, hang on. But yeah, also, so you just make the pattern. Okay, so then this is for 34. So then you would just take half of these off. You know what I'm saying? So you would do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. So you would stop it right there. So you wouldn't add the extra 3 rows to it. You see what I'm saying? So, hey girl, how are you? I hope you're doing good, Miss Secret Place Divine. Yeah, I was trying to come on last night, but I was just so tired when I got home from work. I was just so beat. My cousin actually wanted me to stay and go swimming. And I was like, girl, if I even attempt to get in your pool, I'll probably drown. Like, I'm just so tired. I was so beat. She was like, well, it might actually help you though. I mean, not to drown, but the water might actually help you because it's salt water. And I was like, yeah, but, I just don't think that I should get in. Like, I was like, I'm actually off on Monday and Tuesday, so I could always come back either Monday or Tuesday and go swimming then. Excuse me. Which I told her, I was like, girl, I haven't been swimming all summer. I have not. Excuse me. And I don't even know if I went swimming last year either. All right, let me count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Yes. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You always got to make sure that you count. Make sure that your string matches up with your pattern. Okay, and I already said it before. I'm taking 2 of these off. Okay, so I'm only doing 32 beads instead of 34. So what you do is you make your first initial row, which is the bottom row, and it's 1 single bracelet. Okay, so you do this, and what I do is I tie it off at least 2 or 3 times. At least 3. Sometimes 4. Sometimes I tie it off 4 times just to be sure. But, alright, I'll do it 4. Alright, and what you want to do is you take your string, okay? Take your short end, and you just cut it off, okay? Alright, and then what I do is I just stretch it out. Not a lot, not to where it breaks, but just to give it a little leeway, just to make sure. All right, and you see where you tied it off at? You see this? See this part right here? It's in between these. Hold that, okay? And then you're going to take a string. Oops, my string's caught. All right, take a string. All right. All right, you see where that is? Take this bead right here. This is your first bead. This is number 1, okay? So when we start back, excuse me, when we start back on your pattern, you're going to come down here. You see where number 1 is right here? You see where it goes number 2? And I've told you before, you got to pay attention. Go to this corner, okay? This is always where you're going to start, okay? You're always going to start at this corner of your pattern to be able to read this, okay? And you go across the page. Every row that you put on from here on out, you go across the daggum page from the corner all the way across. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And you're stopping at 25. Okay? So, you always start, excuse me. You always start where you tied it off at. Okay? So this is your last bead. That's your last bead right there. This is your first bead. You take your string. Sorry, my glasses falling on. Take your string and you loop it through. Hang on. You loop it through. All right? And then you hold this. Okay? And you loop it through. Okay? All right. Now, this is where you put your number 2 at. Okay? So hang on. So let's go right here. I got that there. I'm going to loop this through so that I have it all right here. Okay. Put my string right there. So, when you go back, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So from here on out, you're going to add 16 beads to every single row. Okay? All right. So this is what I always do. I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 reds and 2 blacks. So 2, 4, 6, 7. And look, it gave me exactly 2. Boom. 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more beads. Alright. 2, 4, 6, 7. And it just happens to be 7. 7 is God's number. That's awesome. Woo! Whenever I make my my mustard seed necklaces, I always try to do 7 and 3 and 1. 7 is God's number. 3 is for the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and 1 is for self. And that's just my little thing, you know. I mean, whatever. He does use number sequences throughout the Bible if you like pay attention. And I just noticed also that all of these reds, none of them are really the same color red. Like, this must have been, I must have gathered this up before I got like a new thing. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your bracelet, okay? See where the string is? Pay attention. See where the string is? All right. You're going to put the bead on top of this bead right here. And you're going to loop your string through this bead right here, okay? This is why you need to have it in your hand. All right. And then you take the other one and put it on. And you take a string and you're going to pull this bead up and you're going to loop it up under, okay? And what I normally do is I get like 4 or 5 of them on before I pull them through, okay? I'm going to show you. Oh man, I've had a crazy freaking week. I'm about to tell you some stuff here in a minute. It's going to blow your daggone mind, because it blew my freaking mind. I still can't believe this crap happened. Alright. Okay. So what you do, hold your string right here, okay? And you're going to pull this other string through. And you don't have to pull it really tight. Just pull it through. And then I'm going to show you what to do. Alright? So you just pull it through. But make sure you don't have no kinks in there. Like I said, pay attention to the daggum string. Pay attention to the way you're pulling it and all that stuff. Because if there's kinks in it, it'll mess your whole daggum bracelet up. Alright? And like I said, if you twist up, it'll mess the bracelet up. So pay attention. Alright, so when you do that, it should look like that. Okay? Alright, now you can put it back down for a second. Get your string back right. Alright. There you go. Now you got 2 more. Put one on your string. Hold it. Pick your bracelet up. It's going to go back on this one right here, and you're going to push the string through this second bead. Okay? I'll just go ahead and do the blocks too. Alright. It took me forever to figure out how to make these daggum cuffs. Because nobody was actually showing me. Like, it was so hard to, like, see their stuff. Because, like, first off, everybody on here that was making videos at the time that I was trying to learn how to make candy cuffs, they were all showing their faces, so the camera's like way far across the way, and none of them were just showing their hands or the pattern, you know what I'm saying? And like the pattern that you were seeing was backwards, so it's like I couldn't read it. And like, okay, so no, see, everything's right on here, okay? But yeah, like I said, all of their stuff was messed up. Okay, so what I would do personally after you put on the 2 black, I would just go ahead and pull the string through. so that when you put on the last ones, it will be straight. And then that way, you can make sure that everything's fine. And like I said, I wouldn't pull it too tight to begin with, just because, you know. But you got to make sure that your string doesn't jump up. You see what it's trying to do? It's trying to jump back at me. All right. But anywho, so okay, so I had some stuff happen this week, right? I'm gonna share it with you because this it's just crazy. So crazy. I can't believe this crap happened, dude. But God is good because he put me in the right spot at the right daggum time. But, alright, so I'm going to show you my finger. It looks way better than it did earlier in the week. I mean, you could barely even see it. You could barely even tell. All you see is like a dot, okay? But that dot is from a kitty cat. And you don't even see the marks on my hands. You don't even see them. They've already went away. But anyway, so my hands got tore up. On Tuesday, I went to go meet one of my clients. And I think I've talked about her before, but she's a Jehovah's Witness. And I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but I have Bible study with her. And technically, you're not supposed to do that. Technically, you're not supposed to have Bible studies outside of your being Jehovah's Witness. Like, they're technically not supposed to do this that they do. But I clean for these people, okay? Like, first off, they're my clients. And secondly, they're my friends. And a couple of them now, and actually all of them now, excuse me, they're more like, they are my sisters in Christ. But they're more like my family now because I've been cleaning for them for so long. Like, this one lady, her and her husband, I cleaned for 2 of her daughters. Excuse me. I cleaned for 2 of her daughters. One of them is in the program, is in Jehovah's Witness, and the other one is not anymore. And then I have the number for her other daughter, but I haven't started her house yet. And then their friend, I started cleaning for their friend. Well, this is the one that I went to go meet. Hang on, let me get some water so I don't be like clearing my throat every 2 seconds. Excuse me. It's annoying doing that. It's because I ain't been drinking no water and I got my fan on and I hate using my fan. It like makes my throat do weird stuff. Alright, but anyway. So going back. So my Jehovah's Witness friend. I was meeting her at a new boba place. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me because I've never been. So I was going to Charlotte in Valentine to go meet her, right? Because she lives off Ray Road. So I wanted, and it was around 3 p.m. So I knew school was about to let out or it was letting out. And I knew traffic was going to be super duper bad at Indialand. And there was major construction on that road that she wanted to go to Starbucks at. So I was like, nah, let's pick another spot. And the last time we were together, I've been telling her about boba and about all these different boba drinks I have. And I showed them to her and she's like, man, those look so good. So anyway, last time she'd said, well, the next time we meet up, see how it twisted? You got to make sure you fix that. See, it's trying to twist. So you got to make sure you hold it, okay, when you go to pull your string in. You can't let it twist up. You got to be paying attention, okay? All right, hang on. See, it's trying. It will untwist itself here in a second. Wait. All right, so just hold it. There it goes. See? Now it's good. But anyway, so I suggested, I found another spot to go to. I picked a spot that was on Google Maps that had almost 5 stars. It was like 4.8 stars or 4.9 stars, right? It was almost 5 stars. So I was like, all right, let's go here. And they also had rolled ice cream, which I've never ever had before, but I've always wanted to try. So I'm like in the car. I got my worship music on. I'm praying. I'm praising Jesus. I'm like belting out songs. You know, I'm like paying attention to the road, but I'm boot scooting boogieing down the road. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I see and I'm all the way over in the left-hand lane, okay? And there's, at the moment in time, it was only a 2-lane road, okay? It's 2 lanes going this way, it's 2 lanes going this way, but on opposite side. So I'm like going down the road, and I see over in my right-hand lane, like 2 cars in front of me, this Jeep SUV looking thing rolls down the window, not the driver, but whoever was in the back seat behind the driver window, rolls down the window and throws what I thought was a gray bag out the window. And I mean, I don't mean just toss it. I mean, he chucked it out the window. And I don't know if it was a man. It could have been a girl. It could have been a kid. I don't know who it was. But anyway, so it was over here. So it went flying. 2 cars in front of me jerked their wheel. Okay? The car in front of me jerked their wheel. It landed right as I was about to go over it. And I jerked the wheel so I wouldn't hit it. Okay? Like I said, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. So... excuse me. I didn't know what it was. So I jerked the wheel, but immediately I looked behind me in my rear view to see what it was. And I saw something move, and I was like, "Oh hell no. Is that an animal?" I was like, "What the hell?" And then excuse me. Sorry, my freaking throat. So then I see that the car behind me, like, went over it. They didn't hit it, but they went over it. And as they're going over it, it lifts his head up, and I realized it was a baby kitten. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Who would throw a baby kitten out the window? So I was like, please, Jesus, do not let it get hit. Please, Jesus, do not let it get hit. The car behind it hit it, but didn't hit it directly head on. You know, they just got, like, they nipped it. And it was able to scurry away, okay? So I immediately, there was a turning lane coming up to my left, so I immediately jumped in it. And I slammed on my brakes. And I freaking immediately put on my hazard lights. And I didn't even have time. There was no time. I just grabbed my keys. I put my car in park. I grabbed my keys and I ran. And I prayed that nobody would stop at the red light and steal any of my stuff out of the car, which my purse was laying in the front seat. My phone was laying in the front seat. Okay. No, thank God nobody stole my stuff. Well, the car that was beside me, they didn't hit it either, but they saw what I saw. So they went around, and I said, get it, get it, get it. And there was no turning lane where they were at. They stopped dead in the middle of the freaking road. Didn't even put on, she didn't even put on her hazard lights, okay? She didn't put on her hazard lights. She jumped out of the car. She didn't even shut her daggum door, okay? She jumped out. She went to catch it. It was going crazy at that point. Of course, it just got hit by a car, and as a baby. When I finally caught up to it, this baby kitten was literally no more than 8 weeks old. It had literally just opened its eyes. Like, it was a baby. And from what I could tell, it only got nipped on the leg. So it was only missing a little bit of fur, and it, had a little bit of rash there, skin missing. But from what else I could tell, it was intact. It wasn't in pieces or anything like that. Man, it freaked me out so dang bad. And it was attacking me. I was bleeding all over the place. And she ran back to the car. She got a towel. She come back to me. I tried to wrap it up in the towel. And at that time, I was like, stop biting me. I was like, I'm trying to save your life. I was like, I'm trying to save your life. I was like, please stop biting me. I know you're scared. I'm scared. I was like, just calm down. I was like, I'm just trying to save your life. So then this fire truck pulls up, and they pull behind me. They got their lights going. They didn't have any sound on, thank God. All these firemen jump out, and it's like, what's happening? And like, I was like, here, you got to save his life, and they took it from me. So I don't know whatever happened to it after that. I trust and believe. I prayed the whole time. I never cried. Thank God I didn't cry, but I was hysterical. I was like shaking, like worse than a crackhead. Like I was shaking so bad to where when I walked in that boba place, the lady, she asked me if she needed to call 911 because she thought I was having a seizure because I was shaking that bad. And I was like, no, just let me get in the bathroom. I'll explain to you what's happening. It was crazy. And then when my client got there, I told her what happened. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just witnessed that. And I was hysterical. Like, it was insane. Like, people are crazy, dude. Like, so I don't know if it was an adult that did that or if it was a kid. Maybe the kitten was in the back seat and the kitten bit the kid and the kid tossed it out the window. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that was the start of my crazy week. Okay, so you put on this last bead, okay? I'm going to show you what to do. So it goes on this bead right here. So then you got this. You got to rope it through. And you see this bead right here? You see this top bead? You're going to take your string and you're going to put it through this bead. And then you're going to immediately pull it through this bead. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Of course, it doesn't go the first time. So you got to take a string and you pull it through. Now, you hold the back. And you see what I said about twisting? Got to make sure it doesn't twist. Alright. Just got to make sure. Just pull it. Alright. So now that you got your first one done, just pull it a little bit. And this is what it's going to look like to start. Okay? So this was row 2. Okay? So now we're going to start on row 3. Alright, pull the string back through. Alright, and like I said a second ago, when you start back your patterns, you always go back to this first bead right here. Okay? You always go back to this first bead. Sorry, my camera sucks. Alright, you always go back to this first bead. Why is it doing that? Alright, so now you read the pattern this way. So you're going to start right here. Okay? So you go that way when you read the pattern. But you go right here and you go all the way across. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need 7 reds. So 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 reds. And you're only going to do 1 black. So get out 1 black. And then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you do 7 beads. Okay. And like I said before, okay, if I was going to make, hang on, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. If I was going to go to the ends, I would be going all the way to the ends. And at the end of this one, I'd be putting an extra bead on. Okay? Because it skips. It skips a bead. Okay? But then you put it back on at the end. But since I'm not going all the way to the ends, I'm skipping 2 lines, which is, I'm only skipping 2 beads, but I'm only skipping 1 line, but 2 beads. Okay? So that's how you do it. Alright. Dang it. Okay. So here's my string. Okay. So it's pretty easy. And I'll show you once you get to like row 4 or row 5, that's usually when I flip my cuff inside out. But you don't have to do that. I do that because for me, it's easier for me just to add the beads on, and it's more like a puzzle for me. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a little bit. But by like row 4 is when it actually starts to form a cuff. Like it'll be like standing up on its own. You know, you could just like, you know, it'll stand up on its own. But excuse me. I knew I shouldn't have left this daggone fan on. It's going to bother the crap out of me. But I can't get up. Because if I stand up it's going to make my camera fall, and then I'll be ticked. I won't be able to get it back on right. Because the stupid thing is, like, all janky. I need to get another stand for it. Alright. But I'm going to go ahead and pull it through. So you see. Alright. And see how it's kind of starting to form. Not really, but kind of. Alright. And then... okay. So, yeah, this is what we're doing. We're making this. This is a pattern for Full Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, the anime. With, Elric and, nabbit. I always forget his name. It's, Elric Cross. This is his design. His, emblem on the show. It's on the back of his jacket. And I think he has this thing tattooed on him. But yeah, I love that anime. It's such a good anime. So freaking good. And if you're able to catch the live movies of it, you should definitely watch it. It's so good. It is so freaking good. I'm sorry, my stomach's trying to growl. I'm like hungry. Alright. Actually, you do need... Actually, I was wrong. Okay, so it'll be 7, and then remember, I told you you have to add on another bead because you skipped one. Because where the 3 is right here, there's an actual another 3 right here. So you always add an extra bead to the end, okay, or however many beads to the end. So you'll have to do that. Okay, so this. So, put this through there. Alright, you take your pattern. And see how they're together now? So then it's easier just to take the string and you're going to loop it through both of the beads at the end. So that when you get the string, you just pull it through. And see how that tried to go over? Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Now you can pull your string a little bit tighter and try to make it to where, you know, you just want to do that to where now you got a circle. Okay, so now it's standing up. Okay, so now, or it's kind of standing up. It's starting to stand up. And it's okay if it doesn't. It's all right. It's okay if it doesn't stand up fully because it's like kind of wobbly. All right, so now you're going to be on number 4. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 1 black bead. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So you're gonna put 8 on the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oh, I got that song stuck in my head, man. Which is good because it's a Christian song, so. But I'm not gonna sing it because I do not have a voice, especially right now. I don't want to be all squeaky for you. Because I already might be squeaky right now. I don't know. I don't know if I sound squeaky right now or not. I'm sorry if I do. I can't help it. Alright. So now you take your cuff. And it's kind of standing up a little bit. So it's a little easier for you just to string it. Like I said, for me, I think it's way easier for me to string it when it's like standing up than when it's laying flat. Because then I could just like you know, do like how you would a puzzle. You know, it's easier to like just lock them into place once it starts to get like stood up. All right, so okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Hang on, let's loop this through and hold it. Whoop, see, you don't want it to get janky. It was trying to get janky on me. All right, so just hold it and pay attention to what it's doing. Pull it through. Okay, so now you got to pay attention to your pattern. Okay, this is what I was trying to tell you a second ago. All right, so you see, if you look at your pattern, you had 1, then you have 2. Now this you're gonna put, this is number 4. Okay, it's a red bead. It's gonna go on top of that black bead. So on your cuff, you see that black bead? There's a space there. You're gonna put this on top of that. Okay. So you know that it's right. Okay. Then you're gonna take this black bead and you put it on top of the other black bead. Okay, which is right there. You see it? All right. And then you loop it. All right. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it through. That way we can start back with the other ones. All right. And you see, it's okay if there's like spaces or it doesn't feel all the way straight, all the way across or whatever. That's totally fine. But the thing is, you don't want to pull the string too tight, and then it will make it jump up a little too bad. So then at the end, there will be a lot of spaces between it. Okay? Which is okay. I do it like, I mean, you can tell. Like, it does not, you know, and it's not going to be perfect, you know, if you're trying to string too tight. Okay? Don't. You want it to where it's a little loose. Because you don't want it, you see how stiff that is? I mean, it's like, I mean, a bigger person wouldn't be able to put this on because it would be so tight. And then if they try to pull it, it would bust. Okay. So even if you were to get to that point, you would just take it and you would just roll it across your arm to get it on. Okay. Like you would, like, so I try to tell people this all the time. Excuse me. All right. So these are the last 8 beads. So you're going to put these on. And in a minute, we're about to start row 5. I know. This is a big cuff, dude. I know. We got 20 more rows after this. It's going to take a minute. Yeah, it will. I have a feeling I might not make it to get my hair cut. I don't know. I hope I do. I hope it doesn't take like hours for me to make this daggum thing. I try to get, you know, whenever the string kind of feels like it's tight already, you know, then that's when I try to go ahead and loop it all the way through, because you don't want it to get like too stiff or you can't pull it through any of the other beads. You know, you don't want that. So you know, but then again, you don't want the cuff to be too loose or the string to be too loose to when, you know, it doesn't stay on properly or it doesn't stay together properly. You know, you don't. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. All right, so you see how these two down here are kind of tight together. All right, so you take it and you kind of just push it open, and then you take your string and you see how it already went through. It just automatically went through the top. So then you just, all right, you just pull it through. Crap, sorry. Just pull it through. Like I said, you want to make sure that it's straight and it's not like loopy. All right, I'm gonna do one more row before I like reverse it. Okay. And I'm just not, and everybody's different. Not everybody does this. A lot of people just leave it like it is. But for me, I mean, because you won't be able to tell right now, but for me, like, this pattern would not match this. Like, the way it is right now, this is going to be, like, flipped compared to that. You know what I'm saying? But you won't be able to tell it right now because it's just in the very start. All right, now we're about to start row 5. Just go back to your pattern, and you're right here. That's where you're at. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 beads. So 2, 4, 6. And then 1 black. Or wait, hang on. We're at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 beads. 1 black. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9. All right. Like I said, we're sorry, my stomach is like gonna keep growling. All right. Hang on. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a black, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. All right. And you also want to make sure your string doesn't like get, you know, twisted up or anything like that, you know. Also for, because you don't want it to be like have a knot in it and then it mess you up later on, you know. So you got to constantly be paying attention to what you're doing, you know. Like, if you're not coordinated enough to, you know, if you don't have the hands-eye coordination to make this, you're not going to be able to do it. You know, it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of time to sit here and make these things. Like, it really does. But like I said before, when I started making these, I always wanted to make them. I've always wanted to make them. Nobody could show me. Nobody would sit down and take the time to have an arts and crafts day with me like I wanted. Like, nobody would do that. Even like all of my like raver friends, like, they wouldn't, you know, like, they just made candy at after parties, like when they'd be messed up and like all this stuff, but they didn't want to actually take the time to like make candy other than when they were messed up, you know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, candy making has always been an art form. Like, I can do this messed up or I can do it like completely sober. But I'm just going to say right now, I haven't been messed up in 14 years, and I'm glad about that. I do not recommend getting messed up by any means. I'm not telling you to go out there and get messed up, because I personally am an advocate for staying sober and being sober. But, you know, everybody's going to be different. Everybody does whatever they want to do anyway, you know. But for me personally, like, I mean, I don't have to tell you, like, drugs are definitely bad. They're definitely bad. They're not good. Parents would tell me about stuff back in the day. I'd be like, whatever, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. Whatever, whatever. But, dude, I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have listened. Like, I could have saved myself so much time, so much energy if I just would have actually paid attention to what they were saying back in the day. Like, you know. But, you know, those what ifs and those what could have beens and those maybes and all that crap will be the death of you if you let it be. So, you know, I don't have a time machine. I can't go back. I can't change anything that's happened in my past. You know, all I can do is keep pushing. It is what it is. It's all good. Everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. So. Whoops. Alright, so here we get to this part again, and you're gonna have to separate it, and there you go. And it's easy peasy to put it on, to pull it through, because it was just like a puzzle. But like I said, it's starting to get a little tight. I think that I've pulled it a little too hard early on, and it's starting to twist. The string is starting to twist, so you'll have to actually untwist the string yourself, and then you just pull it through. Alright, so that's what it looks like. So now I'm just going to flip it inside out, so that when I look at it from here on out, it will look exactly as the pattern is. So this will be at the end. You see? So now it looks exactly like that does. Okay. So now we're going to be on number 6. Okay. So now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 red beads. 1. Oops. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then 1 black. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 reds. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Alright. Oh, hang on. Oh, crap. My back hurts so bad. Sitting like that is not good. I know, I'm on my bed. I need one of those gigantic, like, I would say pillow buddies. It's not a pillow, though. I mean, I guess you could use it as a pillow. But it's the thing that sits up on the ground and, like, has, like, arms. And has, like, a head part. You know what I'm talking about? I need one of those. Oh, shoot. It's like digging into my skin. Oh, crap. Hang on. That doesn't really help, but... Okay. Alright. Whoop. Wrong way. Alright. I'm sorry it's so quiet in here. All you can hear is the fan. Or, I don't even know if you can hear the fan. But, and see, now it stands up completely. My cuff does. I just think it's easier this way. And I'm going to go to Five Below later today when I go out to go run my errands. I'm going to go to Five Below later, and I'm going to see about getting, see if they have one of those daggum neck cameras, the little thing that you put your phone on. I had one. I had bought one forever ago, but I was like, dude, I don't make videos. And actually, I didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to me. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas one year or something. And I gave it to my ex's kid because he was making videos for YouTube and Twitch, I think. And he was doing, like, so I gave it to him. Okay, going back real fast. Okay, so this black bead right here, you see where it is? Yeah, you see? So, on this pattern, that's why you gotta be paying attention. On this pattern, you see where it is? Okay? So you're going to take this black bead and you're putting it on top of this red one. Okay. And then this red bead, you're going to stick on top of this black bead down here, or these two black beads. That's why I like putting, flipping the cuff inside out, so that when I go to put everything else on, it's just like butter. It just all like goes together. Like the pattern will match the cuff like to a T. So then you could just, you won't have to struggle to like, put it together. You know what I'm saying? You could just like do like how a puzzle is, and it just like locks into each other way better. I mean, you still have to worry about pulling the string through, but you can do this way easier. I think it's easier to be able to do it. But yeah, so what I was saying a second ago, I want to go to Five Below. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do, because I have to go to Rock Hill anyway. I'm supposed to go meet a friend. I go check out his house. He's been trying to get me to come over there for a minute and just meet his kids and his animals and see where he lives. And he's an old high school friend, so I've known him for over 20 years, like probably 25 years, probably longer than that. He's actually my brother's friend too. But he's really good people. I was actually really close to his sister when I was in school. We were pretty close at one point in time. But anyhow, so it's always full circle. Like it is. It's always full circle. And the right ones, they never leave. The right people in your life, they always stay. You might not see them all the time. They might just be like in the background, but they're always there. They're always there. Like good people, they are really hard to come by. Like most people in this world are not good people. Like they do not have your back. They do not care about you. They are just out for themselves, and they just want to cause harm upon people. So we got to really protect our peace. We got to protect our energy. If God's telling you to, to stay away from somebody, you need to listen to him. He's not going to put, he's not, it, well, sometimes he allows like the wrong people to be around you because he's trying to wake you up to how they are and how deceptive they are, so sometimes he does allow certain situations to happen, but it's not because he's like a mean god. It's because he's trying to like wake you up, because it's like he tried to show you beforehand who they were. They showed you countless times who they were, but you were so stuck on yourself that you wouldn't like accept who they were. I'm talking from personal experience right now. I mean, that's how it was with me, with so many different people that I've completely axed. I've completely cut them off. I don't have any ties to them whatsoever. And actually, going into that, so today, excuse me, later tonight, I'm going to be burning 4 of my bags at my friend's house. I will be doing that, severing my soul ties to I don't even know how many people, a lot of people. I have a lot of stuff in those bags. But I mean, there's all kind of stuff in those bags. There's clothes, and there's CDs, and there's stuff they gave me. A lot of the stuff that I'm burning is, I shouldn't be burning it. So I gotta find my mask, and I was looking for it just a minute ago. It is one of those gigantic masks that you use whenever you're like, actually, you know what? It might be in one of these bags that I took with me when I went to paint these rocks. That I just now thought about it. That might be where it's at, because I couldn't find it. I just looked for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, holy crap, did I give it to somebody? What happened to it? Like, it's supposed to be in here and I couldn't find it. So I just now dawned on me that it's probably in my art room. Alright, so now we're starting on row 7. So you go back to your pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to put out 4 beads. 2, 3, 4. Whoop. Oh, lost it. Alright, 4. So there's 4 beads. Then you need 2 blacks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. 8, 9, 10. Alright. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright, so tonight, whenever I burn those bags of stuff and I sever my soul ties and my strongholds to these people and these things that they gave me and all this stuff, I will be making videos of that, and then I will be uploading them tomorrow to YouTube. They will be in my other playlist for my purge testimony videos, and I will be straight up be praying the whole time I'm doing it. I will be saying different psalms and stuff. I do have a mini Bible. I gotta figure out what I did with it, but I'm gonna have that with me as well. And hopefully I can get over there before it gets dark, so I can like show y'all what I'm doing, and that way it'll be easier for me to be able to like read and stuff, because there's not gonna be any lights on over there. Like, I'm gonna be, once it gets dark, I'm gonna be in the freaking dark. Like, there's not gonna be any lights on, like, because my girl, she's not in town. Like, she went out of town, she went to the beach. So she told me, we already talked about this, I have the hose pipe out there. I'm gonna saturate the ground before I ever start doing anything. And you know, I'm all about safety first. I'm gonna have everything, you know, it's controlled burn. It's in, you know, I'm using this little basin that I've been using to burn my stuff at our house. So I'm gonna make sure that I got everything set up before I start burning. And yeah. Okay, so going back to your pattern. All right. So 7. So you're putting this black bead on top of these 3 red beads, okay? So it's going to be connected to this number 6, all right? And then the 7th one, the 7th bead will be... Ah, shit. See? What did I tell you? What you see? You see what I did? You see what I did? See, I already messed it up. Wow, bro. Wow. Wow. See? What did I say? Always pay attention. I didn't even notice that. I totally missed that to begin with. You see, I already messed up. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You always got to pay attention. I just now noticed. See? I messed up. Shit. Alright. Well, then I'm just going to end this, and I'm going to attempt to do it another day. Maybe later tonight when I get back. Man, see, I got all the way up to row 7 before I realized that I messed up. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you always got to pay attention. Okay, so that bead right there is supposed to be black, because this bead right here is supposed to go on top of 3 black beads, and it's not. There's only 2 black beads there. Wow. Bullshit. Alright. Man, dude, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks really bad. Wow. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, you guys. Man. Ah, crap. See? What I say. What I say. Pay attention. Pay attention to your patterns. Pay attention to what you're doing. Yeah, because I told you, man. I just, like, I've had so much stuff in my mind. Like, I talked about the cat. You know, I talked about what I'm planning on doing tonight. You know, I talked about a bunch of stuff, and it was good. I mean, for a whole hour, I've been getting some stuff out and doing this candy with you. But I messed up on my candy, so you best believe I'm gonna redo it later tonight. Man, I nab it. All right. So, anywho, whoop, and I just messed up my camera. All right. So, I'm gonna bounce out right now. All right. So, dear Heavenly Father, I just ask that you please be with everybody that watched and is watching or whatever. I ask that you allow us all to have a good day. And if there's anything anybody's struggling with that they need to talk about, they can reach out to me anytime. I'll be happy to talk to them about anything. Uh, and try to put you in the right direction of, you know, getting help with anything you might need help with. But I hope everybody has a great day. Uh, dear Father God, I just ask you just please place your healing hands upon us and allow us to have a great day and give us peace and strength and comfort and all that good stuff. And just allow us to be safe. And if there's anybody struggling with anything, drugs, alcohol, homelessness, whatever it might be, Lord, I ask that you please allow us to seek the right people to help us out besides just you. And I just ask that you just allow us to come together and work with each other and to be able to have a good day and to show people love, grace, and mercy and kindness and compassion, just like you've instilled in us. And this I ask in your name, for you are the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Alright, you guys, I love y'all. I'll be back tonight sometime. I'll let you know. Alright, bye. Sorry this didn't happen the way I wanted it to. I'm so mad. I got all the way to number 7 and realized I totally screwed up. But, you know, that's why I try to tell you. Pay attention to your pattern. You gotta pay attention. Alright, you guys. Love y'all. Bye.